Hello YouTube. Slightly different video this time. We're taking a look at the Logitech Driving Force GT, which is the wheel that replaces my Thrustmaster FRW Racing Wheel Red Legend Edition thing. That wheel broke a couple weeks ago. Well, actually, it's more like 2 months ago by this time. I've had this wheel for a while. It's actually not the wheel itself that broke, but rather one of the pedals. I was just doing my typical Euro Truck Simulator stuff, like, I was like, just pressing the gas pedal. It wasn't doing anything. Then I tried the brake pedal. Well, it was working fine, so I replugged it, tried to make it work, but it just wouldn't budge. So in the end, I was like, okay, well that sucks. Let's see if I get some replacement pedals. And as it turns out, nope, only if you have the really expensive Thrustmaster models, but not the cheap entry-level one like I had. So that sucked. So in the end, I got this Gran Turismo branded here, the Logitech Force GT. So yeah, it's actually a really nice wheel, even if you're just using it on PC without the PlayStation functions. It's definitely a very big upgrade. I mean, like now we actually have some full rotation going on, force feedback, some more buttons to map, so we've got some more functions that we don't need the keyboard or mouse for. At least in my use cases with pretty much Need for Speed Shift, Euro Truck Simulator 2 and American Truck Simulator, which is those are the only games I really play with this thing, and works great for that. I'm not going to go all over the specifications of the wheel. I'm going to do a little quick tour here. We can still mount it pretty easily to the desk. It just has a screw-on system, just like the Red Legend edition had, except this one screws in from the top instead of from the bottom. Here we have a shifter. It just goes up and down. That's it, or forwards and backwards. Just We also have typical flippy pedal things. Can't really get those in frame, doesn't matter. We've got this Gran Turismo button here that we can map to something. We've got the L3, R3, whatever. These buttons here on top that I use for my indicators. I use these two buttons here for changing the cruise control speed. All the various things. In fact, I really only use the keyboard nowadays to actually get out of the game. I no longer actually need to do the map from the keyboard to get out of the game for the keyboard, whatever. So, yeah. I'm quite liking this wheel so far. That's for damn sure. Anyways, I've already pre-recorded a clip of me playing the game with the Gran Turismo branded Logitech Driving Force steering wheel, which you see right here. It's a really damn annoying name to remember if you've had a long day at work, but oh well. So I'm going to show that right now. I recorded some commentary with it as well, so it's pretty much a comment as I go type of video. So hope you enjoyed this video so far. Enjoy the driving experience in Euro Truck Simulator 2.
Okay, so we're in game now, so we can take a look at the controls that I've set up. Let's go to controls here. As you can see here, we've got the Logitech Driving Force GT connected through the USB controller, of course. The steering axis is, of course, the wheel, as you would expect. And we have the right pedal for the acceleration, and we have the left pedal for the brakes. And that's essentially it for that part. We have the joy shifter that's on the right hand side of the wheel to shift into drive, neutral and reverse, or to use it as a sequential gearbox, whatever floats your boat. I've got some buttons mapped here, the L2 and L3, or the L2 and R2 rather, for the turn signals. Got the light modes set to the same button as I had on my older steering wheel, and I've got the joy hat switches in the exact same way as I had before. The only things that I really added to this are the rocker here, so I can increase the cruise control speed at will. That's very handy. Didn't have enough buttons on the old wheel to do that. And I pretty much mimicked the entire layout of the buttons for the hazard lights to deploy the emergency brake or the handbrake, and the cruise control and wipers. They're all set up identically. And this time around I actually put the shift panels on the back of the wheel as the camera controls for the lean out camera and the dashboard view. And that seems to work pretty well, as we will see now. I just bought this truck. This is a new profile, so I haven't done much. I've decided to start over with Pro mods enabled. So let's actually go for a drive. I need to take a quick rest so we can get a job afterwards. So let's pull up the menu here. Let's just slip it to garage. I will do a quick job to see how the wheel works. As you can see, we can't quite make this turn, so we can turn all the way back. Put it in reverse. As you can see, we can really fine-tune the way we want this wheel to operate, as you can clearly see here. That's something my old wheel surely couldn't do. By the way, let's put the lights on, shall we? There we go. We're in Rotterdam right now, in the Netherlands. There we go. Brakes are working nice. Very nicely indeed. And now we have to wait for a goddamn traffic light. Alright. By the way, if you want to see more gameplay videos on this channel, feel free to ask. I will definitely take a look at it. I mean, I usually play games while I get home from work, so it's a really nice way for me to relax. So if I could combine it with making a video for you guys to watch, then that would be a very good compromise, I think. Alright, let's deploy the brake by pushing the X button. Let me just turn everything off, press the PlayStation button, and we can go to sleep. So now we can actually pick a real job and see what we can get on the freight market. Let's see. Wow, a job to Italy, that's a bit much, I think, for just a test video. It's a very nice job, though. It pays very well. But we're not going to do that. We're going to go to Croydon in the UK or Sheffield. That's the question. Let's go to Croydon. Set as GPS destination. Start her up again. As a Dutch person, I should have bought a DAF, but I've been running the quick deliveries with this one, with this Mercedes-Benz Actros for a while, and I actually quite like this truck. I mean, I actually have real-world driving experience with the DAF XF, both the 105 and the Euro 6, and I can say that they're definitely not represented that well in this game. In real life, they're actually quite a bit more potent. It's actually quite slow here in Euro Truck and quite lacking in power. At least it seems like it. It's totally not at all true in the real world, but you know, it's a simulation, and this is more of a casual simulator than anything else. So I'll forgive them, and I'll just drive this Mercedes for now. Alright, so let's pick up our job. And the good thing is, I don't really have to leave the steering wheel for any function at all, except for if I have to move the mouse. But I don't have to reach for the keyboard for any functions really, except maybe to disable the HUD if I don't have on board sat nav. But I do, so let's put her in reverse again. Now let's park her up nicely in front of the trailer here. Yeah, that's about good enough. It'll take that. So for it to couple up. Alright. The trailer has now made it to our truck. This is only the second engine because it's only a level 9 profile, so it's not going to pull all that well, but we should be able to get out of the town at least. Alright, got any traffic coming? No, we don't. Something on the right? Nope, it's all clear. Alright, let's go. Sounds quite nice, I have to say. Not as nice as a Scania or a Volvo V8, but, you know, it's pretty good, I guess. These roundabouts are a nightmare with a truck, really. Especially if you have a really long trailer, it's just almost impossible not to hit any other traffic if it's quite busy on a road. So far it's alright. This is really not representative of Dutch traffic at all. It's usually quite busy on the roads, especially in the part of the Netherlands that I'm driving through right now. I live in the eastern part myself, and it's even slightly busy over here. But, oh, you prick. Yeah, come on, overtake me so I can frickin' get in line. Jesus. I know we had right of way, but I just don't care in this game at all. I should just push all my weight to the left. Let's put the cruise control on. Just cruise at 82 kilometers an hour. I really do like what Pro Mods are doing to the game. It's really very nice to look at. There's much more detail all across the map. The only downside is that you need to have all of the DLC in order to actually run Pro Mods on Euro Truck Simulator 2. Because you use assets from all the various DLC to create that level of detail that you see right here. So yeah, before I actually started this profile, I didn't have the Vive la France DLC, so I had to buy that. I got it for a good discount. I'm not going to pay full price. I don't think it's worth it, considering I don't really spend all that much time in France in this game at all. I'm usually around the Scandinavian countries because it's just hell of a nice scenery to look at. Thanks a lot, you prick. Oh, Jesus Christ. Why did I suddenly feel the urge to go and do 30 when it's like still 80 and just moving on to 50 here? Jesus Christ. I'm really wondering whether truck drivers really have to deal with shit like that. Just other traffic suddenly just slamming on their brakes. It's really counterproductive. Alright, let's just get on a ferry from Europort all the way to somewhere in England. We're going to Croydon, right? Yeah. We'll find out which ferry I actually have to take to get there. I think we can just go to Felixstowe, I think. But as you can see, the wheel is operating very nicely with this game. It's a lot nicer experience than I had before, especially now you can actually feel when you're going over a bump. It just really hits you hard. The entire steering wheel shakes and bumps and stuff like that. Apparently we're going to go to Harwich. Okay, that's fine as well. I assumed Felixstowe, but I think that's actually from a different town. That's IJmuiden, I think. Oh well. Now we have to drive on the left, so we have to be careful. There's a diff locking into place. Every single time I get to England, this light turns red as soon as you leave the ferry. I really don't understand why. And quite frankly, I can't even see the darn thing. Let's back up a little bit. There we go. Put the brake on. Look at him in his Range Rover, being all posh. Oh well, I've got a Merc. It's a truck, but it's still a Merc, right? That counts. I just shouldn't hit anything because my entire trailer would just burst into flames and become a huge fireball. That would be fun if they would implement that. If you roll it, it just explodes and you die and you have to start over with a new profile. Oh god. Anyways. I figured this would be a much nicer test than just talking about a wheel and just saying like, oh, it's so great, and just do a quick test that lasts like a minute. Like, yeah, it works, it works. I figured this time around I would do things a little bit differently, just show an entire clip of gameplay for a slightly longer period of time. It's both relaxing for me and more enjoyable for other people to watch, I think. At least that's the goal. So let's see if this truck is actually going to pull harder than ours. I don't think it does. That little Scania there is probably a base model as well. I think the base Scania in the game is about a 360 horsepower. We have about 440. That's much faster. Not that it counts, or that it matters. It's all about the torque, baby. Dieseling it up. How far is it to Croydon anyway? About a 2-hour drive. Okay, that's good. Let's go to the left-hand lane. Let's not hog the right-hand lane for overtaking traffic. That prick in his Scania in front of me is just not having it. He's just staying in that lane. He's like, well, fuck you. Fuck everyone that tries to pass me. I wonder if it's like that in the UK. I mean, here on mainland Europe, it's like you can be overtaken on the right. That's actually being classified as not overtaking on the left, technically speaking. But yeah, I wonder if you can't overtake in the UK on the left. Oh, maybe that's also a rule. I don't know. Been wondering about that for a while. I know in the United States you just get the keep your lane rule, which basically dictates that just drive in a lane that you feel comfortable with and don't annoy others with it. But you don't really get fined if you drive in another lane, or if you incidentally overtake someone on the right. As long as the traffic flows, that's all what matters. I think that's a pretty good system. But on the other hand, I think our system is pretty good as well. As long as you don't get lane hoggers on the motorway. That's the main problem. But then again, you won't always get fined for it if the other person is just continuously hogging the left-hand lane. They'll just put that person and just take him off the road, give him a nice big fine. That's the way we all like it. I'm gonna overtake this guy if I can, with the police in front of me. That's a ballsy move right there. Major annoyance number 1. Overtaking lorries or trucks. I can do it! Come on! Take over the Volvo! Yes! That was actually a Volvo. I thought it was a Scania. Oh well. Now let's go one more to the left, because we can. I can't even reach the speed limit. This truck is too slow. Come on! Come on! Alright, we're doing 94 now. That's good enough, I guess. Let's see if we can get it up to 96. Yep, it's holding. Just. Let's see, Dover, London, Cambridge. It looks like we need to take the M25 Dover, so that's what we'll do. Q is likely. I beg to differ. I mean, it's like in game it's 4 AM. Yeah, that's definitely a time where rush hour starts. It's more likely for that to happen around, I don't know. Usually around 7 AM, I think. Between 7 and 9. Alright. Completely empty motorway. But yeah, as you can see, I can really make these fine adjustments to just make it go smoothly through the bends. It's doing a nice job. The problem was with the old wheel, it was a 90-degree turn in each direction. And it really wasn't as fine-tuned. So you basically had some intermediate modes For instance, I could do like this, and then just to compensate because we've got some room, like that. But you couldn't do like really fine tune your steering here, like you can do with this wheel. I guess that's just the way it is with cheaper wheels. I mean, it was a pretty good one. I enjoyed that Thrustmaster FRW Racing wheel until one of the pedals died. That's the reason I had to pretty much ditch it. It lasted me a good 3 years, so you know, I can't fault it for just being a cheap plastic €60 steering wheel. But it's definitely very nice to have something a little bit more potent right now. Let's brake here. There's no traffic, yet we're not getting any green here. Nice and realistic. But I can definitely tell you that the experience in this game is so much better now with just an old, cheap spring-loaded wheel. Like I said, these GT racing wheels can be picked up for about 60 to 80 bucks on a second-hand market. You just have to watch out for these to have actually working force feedback, because that's the thing that sometimes breaks on these. Mine is about 3 years old now, and it's been used on a very regular basis, but it's still in very good condition. Everything works like a charm, so I think it's money well spent. Of course, if you have a better budget, you could always just you know, go for something like a G25 or G27 or G29. But that's only if you're really serious into this kind of stuff. I just do this for leisure, really. Just when I get off of work, I just need to do something to calm my mind. I usually tend to play a game like this. It's just for fun, just for relaxation. I'm not really that hardcore into stuff like this or into simulation. Alright, we're approaching Croydon now. Okay, good test for the brakes. Alright. So, I guess the video is now slowly closing in to its end. We're approaching the end right now. As soon as we got the delivery done, I can give my final words on this steering wheel and its use for American Truck Simulator and Euro Truck Simulator 2. I haven't shown any American Truck Simulator, but the control setup is exactly the same. The way the game handles is exactly the same. It's just some difference in features and location, that's all. So would I recommend this wheel to anyone that's currently in the market that doesn't have a lot of money in their pocket, just wants to play a game like this, just for relaxation, just like me? Well, most definitely. This it's very nice quality, and if you can find one secondhand for a very good price, typically around that $60 to $80 mark, definitely go for it. Just make sure, like I said, that the force feedback is still working. I wouldn't recommend the other wheels anymore, like the FRW Racing wheel, Red Legend Edition, unless you really have to. I mean, from the cheap wheels, that one is definitely the best one, but if you look on the second-hand market for the same kind of money, you can get something like this Driving Force GT, and it's definitely a lot better in every single way. You just have to look out for it that it isn't thrashed and has been looked after very well. So that's a little something. And yes, I know I'm doing the lazy park mode. I'm fully aware of that. I just can't be arsed right now. Yeah, there we go. So let's do that delivery. And that'll be it. We've delivered our goods to Croydon using our trusty Mercedes-Benz new Actros Stream Space truck and the Logitech Driving Force GT steering wheel. I hope you enjoyed this video. I thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.